Yeah, I think one of the things about earning trust is that the higher kind of levels you go, the more of these meetings that let's say that you're part of, or like let's say councils that you're part of where you're making a decision, there's going to be people that leave that meeting disappointed that maybe their idea, their approach wasn't the one that was chosen. How do you reconcile that where there are decisions that you might be making that are going to disappoint people, or at least, I guess the right word is right, disappoint people, but then also not hurt their trust in you at the same time? Like, do you see that those are like opposites of each other, or are they related to each other? How do you see like the difference between like trust and like disappointing people when you have to say no or disagree with their ideas or their approaches?
Yeah, great question. Actually, earning trust does not mean doing everything that they want or saying yes to everything that people expect you to say yes to. Anything on those lines. Building trust is basically making sure that you convey that whatever you're doing with sincerity, and you explain the why behind that. Meaning that in terms of, let's say, your example of giving prioritization, or somebody is presenting some idea and that does not get prioritized, right? Explaining the why behind that, what decisions went into deciding what gets prioritized and what does not, and backing that up with data or whatever reasons you may have, right? It also happens in promotion, right? Like, you have good relation with your teammates doesn't always mean you get to promote everybody every single cycle, right? So understanding basically their motivations, and then explaining that how you have tried everything you could, but these are the gaps that you observe, and unless they work on that, it would be very difficult to kind of make that case for promotion. So explaining what is the gap is, and also explaining how you are supporting them in kind of bridge that gap. Once they see that okay, I understand what the gap is, and also I see that my manager is trying to create opportunities that will help me fill that gap, that will help them overcome that kind of block, that hey, I trust this person but they are not helping with the promotion. Like, that kind of feeling won't happen. And both these things are examples, but there could be other situations where there are two developers on your team and they cannot come to an agreement, and if you pick side of one person, then other person may feel that, okay, like, is this favoritism or something like that, right? But what I said in my first answer about like explaining the why behind that, or rather than giving your input or saying that this is what we are doing, framing that in a way that you are asking questions and then somehow leading them to kind of that consensus could be one strategy to kind of earn their trust, so that you are not saying that, oh, this should be done, but you are kind of questioning them to come to that answer, so that they themselves may feel that, okay, like, okay, this, given the circumstances, given the constraints, this seems like the right decision. Because every experienced person, engineer, would know that, okay, there are always trade-offs, right? Like, there is no one system that will handle everything. So similarly over here, like, you're talking about trade-offs, like, okay, why this decision makes sense right now and what needs to be deprioritized. So overall, these approaches, I would say, help in kind of maintaining that trust, even though you are kind of either saying no to their promotion or kind of not prioritizing their ideas.
If you enjoyed this clip, make sure you watch the entire video, which has a lot more content just like this. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of our episodes where we talk to leaders in the tech industry, from software engineers to product managers to engineering managers, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and also click the notification bell. And that's all the time we have for this week. I'll catch you guys on the next episode.